you're in 12th grade taking an exam. Cops are outside the exam room guarding it for you. What was it like having fame at that young of an age? When you were a kid and then became a teenager, how much time would you spend playing and practicing?
When I started playing serious cricket, I would start my session around about 7:30, and then at 9:30 when the match started, I had to play a practice match. It would go on till almost 4:30 or so. And there were a number of occasions when I used to bunk practice and just to spend time with my friends. And my coach, he would come on his scooter from Shivaji Park to Bandra, pick me up, said, okay, you're not wasting your time here, get your kid back, get changed into whites, let's go and practice. I did not get a chance to be like a normal 12-year-old, 13-year-old kid. And at the end of the day, my coach would tell me, okay, I'm going to give you 12 minutes to survive. You cannot get out. There were almost 200-300 fielders around, so because anyone could catch. It helped me when I went to proper stadium where only 9 fielders were there on the field and I could not see anything else. It became much easier to find gaps.
How did seeing yourself in the newspaper at age 12 impact your interest in cricket becoming your profession?
I always call it my passion, my life. Number of guys spoke to me about it and asked me that how did you manage all this? And I felt, I was in a different zone, my own world. I had created that world for myself where I was so engrossed in that the outside world did not disturb me. I started cricket. My brother Ajit was the reason for that. The knowledgeable guy who had first-hand experience of going out on the field and playing those number of matches was Ajit. And with him, the understanding was, we think about the next game while the rest of the world is talking about the last game.
And when India won the 1983 World Cup, that had a big impact on your interest too, as well, right?
Yeah, because I saw that happening on television and I felt that yes, one day even I want to hold the trophy. I want to do the same thing for India. So at the age of 10, you're not matured enough to understand what it takes to get there. And that I only realized in the following years when I started playing serious cricket. I would ask my brother, so what next? So we kept climbing up that ladder till the time I got to the national squad.
And it was only a few years later, I think by 16, that people started asking for your autograph, and you became famous to the point of it being a challenge to go out. I think you're in 12th grade taking an exam. Cops are outside the exam room guarding it for you. What was it like having fame at that young of an age?
I still remember after my first tour, and I got up with my friends and we went out for a burger. And at that time, a couple of guys came and they asked for my autograph. So I felt happy, but I didn't know where life was going to take me. But when I got my first 100 in England, then I came back and then went to Australia, got runs there in South Africa. After that, everything started changing. 1993 was the first time I played a proper full series in India. Till then I kept playing abroad. So people hadn't seen me play live, and that was kind of a turning point in my career.
There are so many stories of people that gain that fame early on in life and struggle immensely with it. Was not the case with you. How do you think fame impacted your development?
That wasn't the case with me because of my family. I had the right people, the right team around me to maintain that balance between success and failure, because it's so easy to be on top of the world one day and then the next day you feel drowned in sorrow. There was that stability in life. So whether I did well or I didn't perform that well. When I got back home, I was the normal Sachin. When I had attended my first summer camp, my coach, Ramakant Achrekar, so sir called him, my father, and told him that, Sachin, I see that spark in him. Would he be interested in pursuing this as his career? Which was a massive decision for my father, because where I lived, the whole colony is filled with scholars, poets and writers and professors. So for them, Sachin is going to play cricket. He's going to be a professional cricketer. What else is he going to do in life? Was the question which my father faced on regular basis.
Especially because back then it had no financial upside either.
Absolutely, right. Absolutely. And that in those days, even the mindset was different. Today, we know there are so many leagues being played across the globe and in India. But nothing like that existed in 1989. Of course, everyone was happy that I was already at the age of 16, I was playing for India. And my father clearly told me that what you are doing at the age of 16, not many children in the world do that. So my father said, "Ki he devane dilili gift hai, so this is a God's gift. Doni hatani pakdun theo, which is hold this with both your hands. That means don't take things for granted." That would be my message to anyone and everyone. It need not be just cricket. Any field that you are in, don't take things for granted. If you are gifted with something special, hold it with both your hands and value what you've got and work on it.
I want to read a quote to you from a columnist, but he said, referring to you, he was India's first modern sports star, a combination of Babe Ruth, Muhammad Ali, and Michael Jordan. He forever changed sports, celebrity, and marketing in India. What do you think is responsible for your success?
I think self-belief. I always believed that I would play for India. The question was when. There was no plan B in my life. There was just one plan, playing for India. When Achrekar sir spotted that spark in me, he made me practice with, I was 12, 13 and I was practicing with people who were like 28, 30-year-olds. And they were allowed to go full steam. And he would tell me that, okay, if you have to play international cricket, you have to learn to deal with this. You may get hit, it's fine. It's equally important to know how to get hit and how to bounce back. Till the age of 15 or so, I was not allowed to wear a helmet.
Why?
He said, you have to continue watching the ball. If you watch the ball, you will dodge it. You will find a way to defend yourself. Sometimes I used to throw a season ball up on the ceiling, literally, and take it on my body so that I get used to that pain. Nothing stopped us from playing unless I was not able to hold a bat at all, or I was not able to run at all. But I would suggest, all the kids, please wear a helmet.